Thank you very much, Randy. Let's go right to the phone lines. First up today, Paul in Oklahoma. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Hank, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing very well, sir. Quick question in regards to murder, which probably isn't so quick. The United States military, with soldiers overseas, is it murder when they take life?
No, absolutely not. There's a difference between killing and murder, and that's not a semantical difference. That is a very real difference. We believe in just war theory. A war in defense of justice has to be fought justly. And therefore, we can kill even a child with a bomb strapped to his back. But we may not shoot an innocent baby in the arms of its mother. So the idea is that true love protects the innocent against the evil of an aggressor, and that kind of love sometimes leads to war. And you got to remember that if military action is not allowed in order to maintain order among nations, then police activity should not be permitted to maintain the order of a nation. So I think it's a leap of logic to allow the police to resist a murderer and at the same time not let the military resist a murderous nation. Wars are permitted by God in the same way that divorce is because of the hardness of our hearts. So again, if we're protecting ourselves against a murderous nation, that's just. If we're protecting our family against a murderer, that is just. If killing happens in that context, it is not murder, but it is killing. And there is a distinction between the two.
In terms of, say, self-defense or because I was so ordered to?
Absolutely, yes. And not only because you were so ordered to, but because there's a precedent for stopping the aggression of a nation with evil intent. So we can legitimately say that during the Second World War, we were right in stopping what Hitler had determined to do, which is to take the evolutionary theory and make it live out in practical reality. So he thought Jews were inferior, and they would infect the Aryan super race with their inferior genes. So what do you do about that? How do you hasten the progress of evolution? Well, you got to kill the Jews. So he had a very evil system. And for us to thwart that evil system was to do right. And therefore, that is justified killing. It wouldn't be considered murder.
I definitely hear what you have said. I don't know if in my own heart I'm okay with that. I don't know.
Well, I would think you would be. I mean, imagine this. Heaven forbid, but let's say you have a 10-year-old daughter.
17. That'll work.
Okay, so you have a 17-year-old daughter, and you have the opportunity to keep her from being raped and murdered. If you did not do so and had the opportunity to do so, by not doing so, you would be committing an evil act. That would be a sin of omission. So you are justified in protecting your daughter against an evil aggressor, and to not do so would be a sin.
Total agreement on that, hands down.
Well, that's the same thing that I'm trying to apply.
So on a much larger scale, I'd almost rather try and convert some of the Muslims than kill them.
Well, yes. I mean, I think that's the whole point. But what we're talking about, and I use the ultimate illustration, if you have an evil nation killing mass genocide against other nations or people, and you have the opportunity to do something about it and you don't do something about it, that's sin. Now, all we've done is taken the example that I gave with respect to your 17-year-old daughter and extended it from an individual to a mass of individuals. So capital punishment is implicitly validated in the New Testament. Jesus acknowledged the legitimacy of capital punishment before Pilate, as did the Apostle Paul before the Roman governor Festus. There are times in which there is the opportunity to take the life of another person justly, and that would be one of those circumstances. In fact, one of the thieves that were crucified with Jesus Christ had the candor to confess, we are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve. So there's a justice in the capital punishment that was exacted on the thieves, but there was no justice in exacting capital punishment on Jesus Christ because he was innocent.
He's the only one, though, that was innocent.
He is the only one that was innocent. But if you look at Romans chapter 13, it implies that the failure of governing authorities to apply the sword, which was the Roman symbol for capital punishment, exalts evil and eradicates equity. So I think there are certainly instances in which killing is permitted, but murder is never permitted.